We'll get a little bit of relief over the weekend, but still being hot. It just won't be like
Brutal.
we're on the sun.
We're on the sun.
This rain is great, but it's also increased the humidity.
It's crazy. This humidity is something.
Everything's green out there. So not only everything's green, but you look at your yard and it's growing just in front of your eyes. And a lot of people are having to mow a lot, and this dangerous heat. This is a new record that we broke yesterday for the state of Oklahoma. It was 97 degrees at 5 o'clock at Pauls Valley with that dew point, which could be a record. They have to verify that one, of 84 degrees, producing what it felt like to your body of 126 degrees. It's unbearable when it gets to 105 to 110, let alone 126 degrees. And the heat index all across the state, 110 to 120, was pretty common. So it just wasn't this location down at Pauls Valley, but extremely dangerous heat. I mean, you have to limit your time to an hour or two at most and drink plenty of water and let your body cool down. It will catch up to you, and once it does, you can't really take it back, okay? So that's why there is a lot of heat related illnesses and unfortunately deaths. More people die due to heat than any other weather related disaster. Heat index already near 100 in some locations, so heat advisory for a good portion of the state. A little bit drier air, but still hot out towards the west. Don't let that fool you. 84 degrees. We are getting a little bit of relief because of a little bit of cloud cover, some mid-level clouds from decaying showers and thunderstorms for the overnight. They'll eventually fade away and we'll go mostly sunny. So these temperatures right now holding on to the middle to upper 80s. Will soar back up into the 90s here by mid-afternoon, and a little bit of a south to southeast breeze continuing to pump in that moisture. Humidity will be through the roof once again today, middle to upper 70s. There's that sunshine starting to break out west and northwest from central and southern half the state. A couple showers with some clouds down there. We've had more rounds of showers and thunderstorms. It was a noisy late evening here across Metro, some heavy rains. And wouldn't you know it, look at this cluster of thunderstorms. This is with an actual cold front that will cool us down a little bit as we head towards the weekend, but that will produce some wind and some heavy rains across the state as we head towards this evening. Here this afternoon, quiet out there, mixture of sun and clouds, temperatures middle 90s to lower 100s off towards the west, heat index around 100 to 110. Take your time. Now as we head towards after 7 o'clock, here comes that complex of showers and thunderstorms, and I think the bulk of the cluster of thunderstorms will slide to the southeast and affect northeast portions of the state. So that's why I put the moderate risk. But there will be some isolated to scattered thunderstorms along that front that'll peel right through here across central, west, and then eventually off towards the south, weakening as we head towards the south late this evening into the overnight. Again, better parameters, energy off here to the north and east for bigger hail, maybe up to golf ball quarter size, and then probably less than quarter size dimes to nickels as those storms move into southern half of the state late tonight. With that wind, that line of thunderstorms, couldn't rule out a couple isolated wind gusts, 70 to 75 up here northeast Oklahoma. Here in the blue, 65 to 75, and then a little less in the way of amounts of wind and the speed off towards the west and south. But even here across Metro, we could see wind gusts approaching 65 to 70 in a couple isolated locations. So there's the rain moving off towards the east. Looking at future next gen as we head towards 7 o'clock. Some of the data has slowed this down just a little bit, maybe made it a little less in the way of severe with broken line of thunderstorms, but some model says that it's a full line of thunderstorms that barrels from Kansas all the way through the states. We'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, wind and hail will be the big threat. And here we go by 8, 9 o'clock, northern half of the state, and then it'll approach here across the metro 10 to 11 to midnight with a broken line of some severe storms, damaging winds, and some very heavy rains. But the good news is I think these storms will be progressing off to the south, limiting the flooding threat as they head off towards the south. So a good chance of rain here this evening, starting after 7 o'clock into the metro after 10 or 11 o'clock, and then sliding to the south overnight, and temperatures will slide into the 70s overnight. Rain comes to an end tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, we're dry here across the state. Upper 80s to lower 90s with a light north wind. Any chance of rain. Again, southern half of the state. Looking at your 9-day forecast, we go from mid 90s to upper 80s to low 90s. A little less humidity over the weekend. Those storm chances are diminishing as well. And then dry and more dangerous heat as we head towards next week.
I'm over the storms. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, a little bit quieter this weekend. Maybe, hopefully, next week we'll start to dry out just a little bit.
That would be nice.
Yes.
All right.